back in medieval times, my country had this tradition, which I believe was actually quite popular in most of Europe. And that was when a king got anointed and he sat on the throne, he would open the doors to the dungeons across the land. He would issue pardons to all criminals. This was to celebrate the fact that a new king is on the throne, and was basically like to give them mercy. I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but it was like an opportunity of redemption. And it's kind of funny that this is what happened on Twitter. Elon Musk comes on and he basically says that everyone that has sinned, everyone that has done something bad, you can come back on Twitter now. And he actually allowed almost everybody. Even the owner of the Daily Stormer, Andrew Anglin, was allowed to come back on Twitter. I think he still has an account, actually. And Elon basically says, it's like, I don't care who they are, as long as they're not committing transgressions again, as long as they're not violating the terms of service on the platform, I'm not going to kick them out. And he also says that he doesn't like the fact that there is such a thing as a permanent suspension, right? Like, most companies nowadays are even worse than the government. At least, with the government, if you commit a crime, like let's say you accidentally run over someone, you go to prison and you come back as a rehabilitated man after a couple of years. But with most social media companies, if you get the platform from PayPal, it's for life, forever. And Elon Musk doesn't really appreciate this either. But it does seem to be like an exception. There seems to be one person that is unforgivable, and that is Alex Jones. Now, it's difficult to say whether Elon Musk not allowing Alex Jones to come back on the platform is due to him legitimately believing that Alex Jones is a horrible person, and we're going to get to that in a bit, or it's due to the pressure that he's getting from various groups. I personally think that it may be a little bit of both. But the reality is, like, there was a lot of pressure from the ADL and other organizations to make sure that Elon Musk stays in line, and that there are certain people that he shouldn't unban. And given what happened, given the fact that Elon Musk did try to appease some of them in the beginning, but ended up getting blackmailed by them, and as you got to see in the last interview, he's basically saying that if an advertiser puts conditions on the platform, then they should go fuck themselves. Like, that's what Elon Musk actually said. He doesn't like to be blackmailed by companies. He says that if you want to advertise, it's because you want eyes on your product. You don't want to advertise on my platform so you can decide what TOS I have and what I don't. So that was a firm stance. And recently, what changed is that Tucker Carlson is going to have on Twitter an interview with Alex Jones. And Tucker Carlson is one of the people that I assume like has some contract with X, because he streams like most of his content on X now. So the question was, it's like, okay, well, if Tucker Carlson has Alex Jones on Twitter, why can't just Alex Jones be on Twitter? So as I mentioned before, like, Elon Musk doesn't like Alex Jones because of this thing. As you can see here, like, Sam Harris asked him, is it time to let Alex Jones back on Twitter? And if not, why not? So you have like someone else saying that, well, he fucked up with Sandy Hook. He admitted and apologized. He also got a lot of conspiracy theories right. So why can't he come back? And Elon Musk responds that his firstborn child died in his arms. I felt his last heartbeat, and I have no mercy for anyone who would use the death of children to gain politics or fame. It's interesting that this is not why Alex Jones initially got banned from Twitter. Like, if you do a little bit of research, you find out that the reason, the official reason that Alex Jones got banned from Twitter is because he insulted CNN. I think, like, he compared CNN to a rat. The organization, not the people, right? So, like, he said that CNN is like a rat or something. I don't know. But basically, like, that was the community guideline violation, the official reason. The unofficial reason, I believe, is they were beta testing to see how the public reacts to a mass deplatforming, because up until Alex Jones, this just didn't happen. Okay? Like, up until Alex Jones, sure, you could get banned from YouTube, or you could get banned from Twitch, or you could get banned from Facebook, but you didn't have, like, all of these social media companies colluding with each other. Well, what happened with Alex Jones is that in a couple of minutes, he got banned from almost all social media platforms. Like, his internet presence was erased. I think Twitter is the last one that held for a little while, and then eventually they got rid of him as well. So it was for the first time in human history where you get to see a person having his internet presence erased from all mainstream platforms. I mean, sure, he could still stream on Gab and he still had his website, but on mainstream platforms, like where people could go and, like where the normies go, he was completely deplatformed. And this is what concerned me, because I was thinking, like, okay, well, if they're doing it to Alex Jones, they could do it to anyone. And the answer is they did. Like, once they saw that the public is okay with it, like many right-wingers were okay with it, people on the left were definitely fine with it. And once they saw that's happening, they were like, okay, well, let's do it to other people, because the public seems to be okay with the concept. And it eventually got normalized. Now, many years later, again, as I mentioned, the topic of whether or not Alex Jones should be allowed on Twitter has sprung up. And the Quartering is the one that initiated this tweet. And he says the advertiser that would have freaked out are gone anyway. Isn't it time to unban Alex Jones? And Elon Musk actually responds and says he will consider it. In general, since this platform aspires to be the global town square, permanent bans should be extremely rare. Also, if he does say something false on this platform, then community notes will correct him. Whereas that would not be the case elsewhere. Let's hold it to a poll. And I believe there was a poll started by someone else, not by Elon Musk. It was something like 90% of people thought Alex Jones should come back. It really doesn't surprise me. And I think if Elon would start such a poll, then he would definitely get a similar result. Usually he starts polls when he knows what people are going to say. That if you start a poll, the answer is not going to be keep Alex Jones banned. And by the way, the media treats him as if he was the shooter in that event. Right? They don't treat him as if he was a person that said something very disrespectful. No, even years later, he is being treated as if he was the killer. And the reality is that he doesn't even get to defend himself. I remember when mainstream media outlets were attacking him on Facebook, and if you try to defend Alex Jones, according to Facebook's internal policy, you are considered a hate agent, so they would ban you as well. And I would like to see Alex Jones on Twitter. I would love to see what the community notes has to say about some of his statements. It would be very interesting, because a lot of people that do the community notes are left-leaning people. So it would be interesting to see clips of him and no one being able to issue a community note in order to disapprove with what he is saying. I would find that to be very interesting. But yeah, so many people are now asking for him to be reinstated. It will be also interesting to see his interview with Tucker Carlson. I do think that they've been friends with each other behind the scenes for quite a while. In fact, there was this joke that Tucker Carlson watches Alex Jones. It's quite a possibility, because there was a period when Tucker Carlson was working at Fox News, and you would see Alex Jones talk about something on his show, and then when Tucker Carlson had his show the next day, he would talk about the same things that Alex Jones talked about. Of course, you would frame them differently. You would start dramatizing so much and try to make them more palatable for a general audience. But it was very interesting. So I'm curious if we're going to see that being addressed in the interview. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And if you don't know, I do have a subscribe star. It's in the pinned comment of the comment section. If you click there, you can, donate even $5. It will definitely help the channel a lot. And I will see you guys in the comment section. Take care.